If you were to ask me whether you should get the SH Quartz Captain America from the Avengers Endgame or the Mafex Captain America from the Avengers Endgame, well, I will advise you accordingly, and here's my comparisons. But if you were to ask me whether you should get the Mafex Mark 50 or the Mafex Mark 85, well, it's more of your own preference. Hey, how's it going everyone? I'm DCSG81 and welcome back for another special video. And this is a special video because I think it's the first time I actually do a comparison like this. And let's get started by the overall design of both the armor. Let's take a look at Mark 50 first. As you can see, Mark 50 has a little bit more closer to the original Iron Man looks with the more reddish armor. But if you take a look at Mark 85, some of you, even myself, sometimes when I first saw it, I think it's like, wow, that's a lot of gold there and it looks kind of weird. Depends on your preference again. Do you want your Iron Man to be something more of the classic looks or more of something else? It's a different design altogether, although you still can see some red there, but it's a lot more gold. And next, let's go for the accessory. And like my previous video about the Mark 50, I believe there are about 10 nanotech weapons that is given to this figure. As for the Mark 85, it's not so much, but you still have the shield, the sword things, and most importantly, this Mark 85 have two Tony head sculpt. And the Mark 85 does have the snapping finger pose as well as the nano gauntlet. And as for the articulations, I can't really comment much because both of the figure has not been released yet. But let's take a look at this Mark 50, which have the squatting pose holding the shield, which looks pretty good there. As well as for Mark 85, we do have a superhero landing pose, which looks pretty good. And from this picture alone, you can see they are both having quite a good articulations there. So there is not much of a comparisons right over here. And next, let's go for the screen time. As for Mark 50, I can always remember the opening scenes of the Avengers Infinity War, as well as the battle on Titans. But for Mark 85, if I'm not mistaken, the opening scenes is the one that is this one. And the next screen is just the final battle with Thanos. So yes, Mark 50 definitely have more screen time, as well as it definitely leave me a deeper impressions with both of the scenes of the fight, which is rather good. If you're enjoying the video so far, I would appreciate if you can give it a thumbs up. And next, let's go for the price for both of the figure. For Mark 85, it costs around 97 USD excluding shipping, as well as Mark 50, it costs around 135 USD due to the amount of the accessories that's been given. Wow, there's a big difference there, so you will really have to make your right choice. And the release date, as we know, the Mark 85 has been postponed quite a few number of times, so the latest delay is to June this year. But as for Mark 50, it has been scheduled to be released by the end of this year, which has not been delayed yet, and we know there will always be delays, so it could be released maybe end of next year. Yep, so if you want Mark 50, you will have to wait a little bit longer. Okay, so here's my final verdict. I have concluded both of the figures with all the good things about them listed right over here that you can see. So there is no winner or loser in this comparison because it's really up to your preference. I will just help to point out what's the advantages of both of the figures. Maybe you will think that, oh, I actually want a Tony head sculpt, so I'll go for Mark 85. Or if you are a person who loves accessory, yeah, I think I like my Iron Man to have more weapons to pose with, then you should go for Mark 50. Yep. So personally, for myself, I will go for Mark 85 because of one simple reason. Well, that's the last armor that Tony Stark wore. Yep, it's that simple because it's as iconic as the Mark 1, that's the first one, and Mark 85 is basically the last armor.
My turn.
So there you go guys, I hope this comparison does helps you to decide which one you should go for, and I'll catch you again in my next video. As always, you can check out more Iron Man videos right over here.